Emmanuel Noisette, or E-Man, from E-Man's Movie Reviews out here in Chicago. My question actually is for Mr. Lindo. In this film, of course, there's like this interesting exploitation that happens to Black folks specifically, but also those who feel unseen or unwanted. And
Come
given your
on.
illustrious career, have you ever experienced a moment, maybe in this industry, where you felt unseen or unwanted? And did this film maybe help channel some of those feelings in a way?
Mhm.
That's a great question, bro. And not being facetious at all, there are plenty of times when I've felt unseen. Lots of times. One doesn't cry the blues about that. One is aware of the arena that one is playing in.
Mhm.
Interestingly, I'm writing a book right now, a memoir. And one of the central components of what I'm writing has to do with being unseen. And it wasn't
Mhm.
just me, it's my mom, because it features my mother also. And how, what we have to do in order to attempt to be seen. And to the extent that that's my story, I would say that that's people of color across the globe. That's part of what we have to navigate in our lives. How do we get seen? How does our value? How do we get people? No, I was going to say, how do we get people to value us? That's no, that's not the emphasis. We are who we are, and the world reacts to us in a certain way, and we so often we have to say, no, 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 that's not who I am. Don't put that on me. This
Right.
is who I am.
Right.
Your interpretation of who I am is wrong.
Mhm.
This is who I am. And when you make that, when any of us makes that statement, no, 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 this is who I am. That is the attempt to be seen in terms of the value, the accuracy of who we are. So that's a very long-winded answer, man. Yeah, there are plenty of times I've been felt unseen, but I'm sure that everybody here can tell you stories that encapsulate a very similar experience. But thank you for the question, bro. And
Well,
I got to
thank you for
plug
the
my
answer.
book, so thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Congrats, everybody, on the
Thank
film. It was
you.
really good.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you. I want to say something. Oh, I'm sorry. Put my hand on your lip. I'm sorry. I want to say something, okay, about being sane. Did you see a film called The Five Bloods? Spike Lee?
Oh,
Absolutely.
now.
Okay, so that was a very interesting experience. I'm not going to harp on it, but because I've felt profoundly proud of that work, the whole endeavor, and to see how certain areas of the industry chose to ignore it
Mm.
was a was a lesson. And I say it was a lesson to have that experience at this point in my career.
Mm.
At this point in my career, was a wonderful, not wonderful. It was a lesson because what I had to do was recalibrate some things
Mm.
Mm.
internally in reaction to that. But what I'm thankful for in the final analysis is the job, the gig, and I say this to all of us who have experienced rejection or whatever, the gig is to keep working. Keep working. And remember, the film is forever. Film is forever. No matter who responds or doesn't respond, the, it's on film.
Yeah, I agree. This particular film is brilliant, whether nobody shows up at the theater,
And I
and I
feel that
think
way
they're
about
going to
this.
they're going
Yes.
to show up. But I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I went off on a tangent, but I wanted to say that.
No, you were giving Jack and me some life over here, so we take it. Yeah.
All right. God bless y'all.
I'm gonna kick it off with Ryan. I'm not sure if you recall, but man, I met you almost like 10 years ago, when I had way more hair. And you, Michael, Tessa, y'all came to Chicago to promote Creed. And during the Q&A, you emphasized to the audience how important you thought it was for directors to also be writers. So I've been fascinated with that ever since. So my question for you is, as a writer, how did you go from honoring the memory of your late uncle, and the themes of culture and music, to then as a director using vampires as a medium to help us visualize all that?
I mean, it's a great question, man, and it sounds strange, even when I talk about it, you know, because it's a lot of elements, man, and I kind of poured my whole life into this movie, you know, and I feel like I've been preparing for it for my whole life. But to be honest with you, man, I use like a cooking analogy, man. It's funny because our code name on the movie was grilled cheese. We didn't have a title for a long time, but I love to cook. My family's specialty, on my mom's side is gumbo. You know, like that's what they known for, right? They from the Gulf of Mexico. They from Port Arthur, Texas. And it's to this day the best gumbo I've ever tasted. And I'll put it up against anybody's, you know what I mean? And this film is that, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, gumbo is its own dish, but it has a lot of crazy elements in it, you know what I mean? But when you say gumbo, you know what that is, you know. It's more than just the sum of its parts. And for me, you know, I love cinema. It's the artistic language that I speak the best. I love horror films. People didn't know that about me based off the last few films that I made. I wanted to really show my full self to the audience, you know. And the reality is that Delta blues music, which is the most important contribution our country has made to global popular culture, I believe through this research, it's just an epic art form. But it has a very close relationship with religion. It has a very close relationship with the occult, with spirituality. Both from the African continent and with Christian influences and others, you know. So it made a lot of sense, you know, to make it this way for me. And once I found these actors, you know, it made more and more sense every day. If there's anything to that.
All right, thank you so much, man. Congrats on the film. It really did feel like jazz on screen. So thank you.
Right on. That means a lot, bro. We coming to Chicago, bro. We're gonna be
Ooh,
out there in a bit. You should pull up.
I got you.
I bet.
If you're interested in watching the full interview, visit the AFCA YouTube channel, link in the description. If you're new here and you like what you see, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss out the next time I drop a video. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.